we go. There we go. There we go, guys. Number 3. Yeah. Look at that, right there. Check out that fatty. There we go. Welcome back, fishing friends, to another adventure. Hey guys, what's up? Time for some spring fishing. Look how cool that is. Where all the hog wallows were, where it was all torn up. Now you got clover has come up in there. The main creek is back there. So there's already people fishing. Further up towards the main lake, they're trying to catch crappie and sand bass. So we're just gonna fish the pond here, the buffalo hole, and see what we can get. Had a lot of luck here. Usually I'm fishing right off where that stump is, but snake season, so I'm not gonna try to cut through there and monkey around with any of that kind of stuff. Hey, if you're new to the channel, thanks for stopping by. My name's Alan, and I make all kinds of videos, but mostly fishing, and I enjoy doing it. It's just a great way for me to create a visual diary of all my fishing adventures. And if people come along for the ride and support me, I appreciate it. And you know, it's good stuff. Hey, an update on the squirrel issue. So those squirrels didn't have any young in there, and what it is a friend of mine was filling me in that does pest control, that you'll have a group of females, sister litter mates or whatever, and they'll stay together and they'll even nest together quite a while until they each get pregnant, and then they'll veer off and find their own places. And sometimes they'll fight each other to keep their current nesting areas where they want to nest. So it just, you know, it's a family thing, and then they all spread out and venture out. But so they hadn't had their young yet, so that's a good deal. So the hole and all of that's going to get patched up here pretty soon, and that one-way trap is just brilliant. So they get out, they can't get back in there, and you know, crawl up under there. It's flat up underneath that eave, and they can just pancake and then get up into the hole. Anyway, we're gonna get rigged up. I'm gonna move a little bit further down over here, right off that point, and see what we can catch. But man, it is beautiful out here. I don't hear any of the wild hogs squawking back in there like I usually do. But it's a nice, peaceful Saturday morning. I know you guys are probably eating the sun right now on the camera. And it's, ooh, you can see right here where it looks like a beaver slide. There are a lot of beaver around here, but I don't see any beaver dams here. Also could be just where the hogs are laying right there, like a little game trail. Oh yeah, you can see right here. You can see the game trail. Those are hogs and deer and just whatever else. It's like a little bog in there. Anyway, so that's our little field. What? How did that get in there? Huh. We've had some pretty big storms recently. Thing looks like it snapped off and blew off. All right, I gotta try to find a spot in here that we don't have is too much of that cabbage. I think right here is gonna work just fine. I see a bunch of bait fish in there. All right, so I've got my 6-foot ugly stick, 20-pound braid, 20-pound fluorocarbon. I got one of those little Rapalas on there, little lure, I've been catching crappie all along that far edge, like a little Mepps spinner on the ultralight, and then I've got a little craw on the ultralight. But I'm going to try something different, I think, today with, I mean, I'll use the craw, but I'm going to switch over to one of those little Northland tackle, little mimic minnows. Those have been doing pretty well. They're pretty popular up north for fishing, crappie fishing, and down here. All right, let me get situated and we'll get started. Oh my gosh, guys, that breeze feels good, but I know it's not good for the camera. All right, I'm using just a little size 1 Mepps. Throw this for a little bit. Oh yeah. The water is churned up just a little bit. I'm thinking from the rain. We had some big storms come through here. I had a chaser right there. I had a chaser. It was just a dinky guy. Yeah, there's a lot of people fishing the creek because sand bass are moving into spawn. But crappie, I think, will here pretty quick. I'm going to give it a full effort next weekend up in Oklahoma. One of my spots up there. Guys, let me know how your spring fishing is going. What you've been catching, all that good stuff. Oh yeah, guys, a bit of a celebration. Broke the 1,000 subscriber mark. I didn't do any giveaways because of all the chaos of giveaways and these bots and spammers whispering and telling people they won. So I'm not going to do any giveaways. I've been doing research on all the chaos. Ooh! Oh my gosh, guys. I had a hit right there and I didn't get him. Dang it all. How did he not stick? Going too fast, I think. Anyway, so we're at the 1,000 subscriber mark, just over. There was another hit. There's a hit. Boy, he popped it a couple of times. Ooh, it's just a little guy. Hey, but a fish is a fish. Oh, he's got it down in there. We avoided the skunk. Hear turkeys in the background, guys. There he is, just a little dinky dude. The breeze. Just a small guy, but hey, he counts. There he goes. All right, guys. I catch quite a bit of crappie, and see if I can get this up for the hat can. It's always hard to judge. And white bass, sand bass. Excuse me, when I fish up in Oklahoma. So I just got it under a bobber. Sometimes I jig it without a bobber, and it's just a little Northland tackle fry. Oops, let's not get tangled here. And it's good stuff. I really enjoy using it. There we go. We'll see if we get any bites on there. I'm not using a slip bobber because I pretty much understand the depth here, but this little guy, anything from Northland Tackle like that works great. And if you follow any of the other fishing stuff, you might have seen the ND Yak Angler. He uses those from time to time. There we go, guys. In here, right in here close. It's another one of these little dudes on that mimic minnow. There we go. Just a little dude. You better watch out. Gar is gonna get him. Yeah, he wasn't very big, but it was a good little fight, and just right in here shallow. Pulled up a stick too, the dreaded stickfish. Boy, the thing is, there's just no rhyme or reason to direction of the wind. Sometimes it's going this way, then sometimes it's coming right in, then sometimes going that way. And of course, none of it is good for the GoPro. I do have the dead cat on, which is it's kind of like a little windsock to muffle the sound. But from what I can tell now, the wind's like blowing right in on me. Usually here in Texas, it comes straight out of the southwest because you get that Gulf Coast flow. But if we had like a little disturbance come through, then it'll come from the north or like a cold front. I'm going to be switching to the Rapala here in just a minute. I got a ton of videos on me testing out that little Rapala. It is so much fun to use. So with this, I just give it a couple twitches, let it sit, then I'll slow crank and just jig it a little bit. Slow crank, jig it a little bit. Ooh, we just had a flopper right there. I caught a gar one time on that side over there. The water was way low. You actually had a beach over there, and I was using a gulp minnow. Alright guys, we're going to switch over to the Rapala. Alright guys, so this is a Rapala countdown minnow. I think, pretty sure this one's a 4. Size 4. Hopefully the hat cam picks it up. Man, and I love using these. Doesn't take much to get it out there. Just let it sink, let it crank slowly. And I usually have some pretty good luck on it. There's a woodpecker having fun over there. Oh yeah. This thing looks good in the water. This is one of my other fishing videos over on the other side of the bank. You've seen me catch a ton of a crappie with this. The thing that's concerning me is the wind's starting to pick up, and we're not supposed to have a windy day today. Isn't that how it goes? Now, when I lived in Amarillo and was teaching school there, every day, 15 to 20 miles an hour. So flat out there on the high plains. But over here in the North Texas area, you get some pretty good days. But March and April are always, those transition months are always windy. Fish on, boys, fish on. Ooh, check it out, it's a little crappie. Let's see if I can get him in there. Oh boy, he's a thin guy. He needs some. Check that out. Beautiful colors. Boy, he needs some food, doesn't he? You better get with it, man. The bugs are out. I've already had a mosquito land on me, and I couldn't believe it. I was like, what? What is today, April 1st? All right, there we go. Just right off this point. The Rapala countdown minnow. Pretty sure it's a size 4. I just let it sink, then I'll jig it a little bit, crank it in, and then let it sink. Boy, everything's hitting in close. Now, I've seen this when the water's low. I mean, and this goes almost straight down. It's a pretty steep grade because they had to adjust it man-made. And in the old days, where the road is there, I mean, that was a high bank, and you would fish way down much lower. Water would never get up this high. You could go all down another 10 feet and you could fish, and then you'd have the brush down there. So they did quite a few improvements on this over the last 2 years. Alright guys, I switched back to the Mimic Minnow on a bobber, and I just had a couple of pops right there. Dang it. Nothing. So I moved over into this little cove area. Not much going on. So I'm just letting this kind of jig, and I bring it in real slow. There's been a lot of fish flopping on the surface, but those can be gar and carp. Usually you see me fishing, like I was saying, over there from that log facing this way. The problem is getting to that spot is snake country. And so the snakes are all out now, the water moccasins. Even though it's kind of cool, they'll be lethargic, but they're out and around. That's the thing, is everyone wants to get their pictures taken in blue bonnets and rolling around. Well, the thing is, the snakes love to get into the blue bonnets too. Why? I have no idea. But you get these big western diamondback rattlesnakes that love just to lay in there. So a lot of the shorebirds have already headed north. There's still some kind of birds here and there that hang out a bit. But for the most part, everything's headed north. Ooh, we just had one jump right over there. Right where I was fishing before. Isn't that always the case? on a Saturday, not too many people have been coming through here walking the trails. I saw one guy with a camera and then a family. The thing is, these photography people, they always stick on the trail, and they need to get way the heck back into the spots back in there. Oh, we just had one hit right there. My gosh. Got to be kidding me. That looked like a gar. Anyway, so they need to head way the heck back in there. You just need to get some good boots on, layered pants, and just start walking back through there, and then find a place just to sit and chill. Get out here when it's still early, and then just plan to spend the day there, and then have a couple places scoped out on your way back that you can hang out for half an hour or so, and you'll see them. Whether it be birds, animals, the beavers have been real active. But on the trails where everybody walks, in the daylight, you're not going to see much. Alright guys, we're hooked up on the spinner, the Mepps spinner. Let's check it out. Ooh, this is a nice crappie right here. Big old fatty. Alright guys, here we go. It's a nice one. In you go. It's on the Mepps. Let's get this untangled. Just a little size 1. Silver blade. And on that one, he hit on the fall. Just right out there. I gotta get this other line in. He hit just right out there. Boom, straight shot. All right, guys, I'm gonna switch up to this little green Thunderbug, silver blade. If you never used any of these Mepps Thunderbugs, oh, they are fantastic. Cast a country mile. Blade has got great action. You got different colors in there. I kind of like this green, and then there's like a yellow or a tan colored. You can get them dressed, undressed. Lots of attention, especially with a bright sun like this. The thing is, I'm throwing this on the ultralight. What am I slipping in down here? Do I got one? Do I got one? I got a bite, boys. I just, on the pause, I got hit on the Thunderbug. Let's see what it is. Oh, just crying out loud. How the heck did it throw the hook, throw the treble? Dang it. It was a nice crappie too. Dang it all. Boy, that woodpecker's having a blast over there. Anyway, so I started cranking her in. I just let her drop, and boom, that's when I had to hit. Just like that, little pause. Because what happens is the blade stops and it flutters funny. God, that's a gorgeous color right there. Has a kind of greenish baitfish, shad, maybe a little bluegill color to it. The thing is, you guys see me catch some nice striped bass in here, sand bass. There are some stripers too. It's a little bit bigger blade. Maybe I can attract their attention. Spring fishing, guys, is so much fun. Fishing any time of the year, and strapping on a Mepps. I'm not affiliated with them. They're not a sponsor or anything. I just love their products. And they have so many different types that you can use for different situations. It seems like I always come back to them, to those lures. Can't believe I missed that one. I think we're hooked up, fellas. It's a light bite. It's got to be a crappie. Now he's wanting to fight. Super light bite. Oh, it's a little guy. Hey, but... And I'm stepping in all this mud. Easy. On the Mepps Thunderbug. Let's go. Flipping and flopping, I almost dropped him. Hey. Looks like bait for gar. Let's get him back in there. On that Thunderbug. It's green color. But the blade is that shiny silver. You can get blades in black, copper, or that bronze colored. It just, ooh. On the fall right there already? No. Wow. I definitely felt a pop as soon as it hit the water. That's such a great lure. Pick one up, guys. They're definitely worth it. Slow crank, then the pause. Slow crank, then the pause. Slow crank, then the pause. Hey, and these things work great for trout too. I've caught a lot of trout on them. The wind has died down some. It was seeming like it was going to be a windy day. I think it still is, but just right now we're in kind of a nice non-wind spot here. What do you guys... Ooh, there we go. Excuse me, I was going to say, what do you guys think about the Final Four? Man, you could tell that the transfer portal is really starting to affect a lot of basketball. What do we got here? Oh, he's not putting up a fight anymore. It's another little one. Well, they're hungry. There we go. The little ones are getting pretty aggressive, aren't they? It's a Thunderbug. Yeah, check out that shine. It's good stuff, guys. Yeah, so like I was saying, But the Final Four, the transfer portal, none of these teams, nobody, unless you're a fan of those teams. I mean, my brackets got ripped right out of the gate, and I had teams like Houston, Alabama. I did more brackets. Usually I try to just do, in the old days, a sheet of integrity, just one. From Mike and Mike in the Morning would always talk about a sheet of integrity. But then one of my students was telling me he had like 25 brackets. I only had 3 this time. And then the women's Final Four, Iowa won last night. So they're going to the national championship game, I guess LSU. Dang it. I felt the thump there, but nothing. Pretty decent distance out there, guys. Just a slight hit. It's got to be a crappie. On the Thunderbug. Feeling the head shakes as we get in shallow. It's not wanting to get involved in it. Ooh, what do we got here? Look at this thing, will catch anything. Oh my gosh, guys. Check that out on one of these bullheads. Boy, the Mepps Thunderbug. There he is, guys. Yeah, I'm using the glove, avoiding the slime, the spikes in there. He's been eating good too. There we go. I never would have thought I was going to catch that guy on that, but man, it's good stuff. And he hit that one on the fall. All right, let's get back in there. Got another one, guys. Definitely feeling the head shakes on the Mepps Thunderbug. He's not liking the shallow water. Are you kidding me? Another one of these. Holy cow. Man, oh man, these things catch fish. All right, let's get him taken care of. Jeez Louise. Oh, he's doing one of these where he's not going to want to open his mouth. All right. There we go. All right. Mr. Aggressive. Ooh. And he got hung up on the glove there, his spike. I may throw the Rapala countdown just a couple more times. See what we can get out of that. Already had a hit right there on the fall? No. Maybe. Yeah, guys, anyway, if you never tried ultralight fishing, just pick up a small, anything under 5 feet or like 5'5", little ugly stick, and then just use some 4 or 6 pound line. Actually 2 to 4 works really well. And then just go out there and have some fun. With that light line, and you get even a small fish, it feels like you got a monster on there. And it's good for kids too, you know, because the kids, when they feel that on there, they're just like, oh, I gotta, it's just mass excitement for them. Man, that looks good in the water. There we go, boys. Finally on the Rapala. on this let her fall, cranked her, let her fall on the countdown minnow. Let's see what we got. Well, it's a decent sized fish. There we go. It's a little bit bigger crappie. That's what I'm talking about. Ooh, it's a big boy. There we go. Well, that's a hoss right there. That is a hoss. Not quite my PB, but it's a good one. Let's get him back in the water. Look at that beautiful fish. There we go, on the Rapala countdown minnow. Just this little guy right here, size 4. He would have taken a 5 or even a 6. Pick one up, go get one. 3s even work well. I've used 3s quite a bit. So on that one, I just let it sink all the way to the bottom. Gave it a pop, a couple of cranks, and he was on it. Let's see if we get the same result with this guy. Nope. Well, that was a healthy fish. That was a big boy for sure. The other thing is, I leave the bail open so that the bait doesn't pendulum towards you. It has a natural fall. Oh yeah, I don't know if I mentioned, guys, but I'm using these Lose speed spins. Smaller ones are like 100s. This one's a 300. The other thing, guys, is I'm using this countdown on the bass rod. The Thunderbug on the ultralight. Really, I should be using this Rapala on the ultralight. But you know how it is. Sometimes you get a little choose convenience. But I've got some pretty good fish on here that were worthy of this rod, size-wise. Yeah, now we're back into the wind pattern again. For a while there, it was just not much. Now it's really starting to pick up. So I'm letting this guy sink again. The thing is, with the breeze, it messes up how I want to do my retrieve there with a quick pop and then a speedy retrieve. There's a family out walking on one of the trails. Everybody thinks I'm nuts fishing here. I've never seen anybody fish here before. And they ask if I catch anything. I'm, a little couple panfish here and there. I'm like, it's good for kids if they want to catch those bullheads. All right. I want to catch either a nice bass or a striper on one of these things, or on this thing. That was that last time we were out. We had the trifecta. See if we can get it again. Some good sized bass in here too from the ones I caught before. And that nice, I call it striper, but it's a sand bass, striped bass. Around here they call them sand bass for the most part. The other one I really like using is the jig and wrap. Don't forget about that. That thing is phenomenal. When I got a lot of snaggy type stuff like this water, I'm not going to use it, but I got a couple spots up in Iowa for sure. I'm going to be throwing it. And if I head back up into Oklahoma at one of the lakes I go to, where I had some good success with it, I'll try it again there. I was thinking about that for next weekend. There we go, guys, on the Rapala countdown. Let's see what we got. That's another little crappie. Looks good. Check him out. Yeah, he's not like that big one, but it's good sized. There he goes on the Rapala countdown minnow. Alright guys, I don't know if you can see him. It's like a little water spider right there. Ooh. Oh wow, he went under. He like lives under there. Touched him with the tip of the rod and he went right under there. That's pretty cool. Alright guys, that's going to wrap it up for today. Man, I had a lot of fun. Multi-species, a lot of surprises. Good stuff. Good stuff. Hey, pick up either the Mepps Thunderbug or the Rapala countdown minnow. They work out pretty well. One of those Northland mimic minnows. It's like a little fry. Those things work out pretty well. It's a gorgeous day. I got a lot of stuff I got to do yet for the rest of the day, but I just want to get out this morning and enjoy some spring fishing. Awesome stuff. Hey, thanks for supporting the channel. If you're new to the channel, once again, I appreciate you stopping by. And we're still climbing. We're slowly climbing. Our next benchmark is 2,000. So hopefully we'll get there. But anyway, guys, on the way out, I'm going to hit a couple of spots along that edge there. And I'll throw it into the video if I get a couple things from that end. But other than that, till next time, I'll see you then. Good luck with all your spring fishing adventures. Bye-bye.